So let me introduce Dr. Begum Burak. She's an independent researcher and author in Turkey. And media and democracy in Turkey, a critical analysis. I think she's going to uh, have a presentation involving this theme. So,
Yes.
Dr. Begum Burak, your time starts
Mm.
now. You have 10 minutes or 12 minutes, no problem.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Chair, and thanks a lot for the opportunity. I want to share my screen. Okay, so you can see my screen.
Yes.
So my topic is media and democracy in Turkey, a critical analysis. I want to make a brief theoretical, I want to provide a brief theoretical framework about the relationship between media and politics. As you noted in the beginning of the conference, media is seen as the fourth estate in modern democracies, and it acts as a watchdog for state affairs. The media coverage of issues is very important in agenda setting, and also we know that media freedom is very important for liberal democracies, and there's a constant relationship between the ruling elites and the people who are governed. And also I want to talk a little bit about the functions of journalism, or functions of media, let's say. Media makes investigation, it provides society a public forum and a basis for democratic education. Here on, I want to make a reference to the Marxist thinker Louis Althusser. According to Althusser, media is one of the ideological state apparatuses, along with schools, education, and the religious institutions like church. Media is used by the elites in order to reproduce the dominant ideology of the state. So it can be as an ideological state apparatus. It can be seen in according to Althusser. And my presentation will proceed in the following way. First of all, I will provide a historical framework. Then I will briefly address media and politics relations, media ownership structure in Turkey, media freedom issue in Turkey, and I will talk a little bit about the actors. Historical overview, we know that if, in 1923, Turkish Republic was established by Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, and in Kemalist nation building projects, media actors were used as a tool to impose national identity on the masses. So we can say that the media was used as an hegemonic tool in the production of identity and the national values in order to make them widespread among the masses. Almost 10 years ago, another colleague of mine wrote an article titled "Instrumentalist Use of Journalism in Imposing the Kemalist Hegemonic Worldview and Educating the Masses in the Early Republican Period." Here I want to summarize. We can say that here I said that the Republican elites were trying to carry out the social engineering project through revolutions in the early years of modernization. They didn't just enact laws, but they also used mass communication instruments as an efficient tool to make the modernization project get a wide support among the masses. Now I want to talk a little bit about the media ownership structure and the issue of media freedom. According to the media ownership monitor report, around 71% of the Turkish media outlets belong to 4 big companies close to the government. These companies are Turkuaz, Kalyon, Demirören, Doğuş. Turkuaz, Kalyon is one company, Demirören, Doğuş, and Ciner. So we can say that media ownership is concentrated in the hands of a few large private media groups. With regards to media freedom, Turkish media is not very free, and I can say that there's a heavy state control on the media outlets and journalists. There is an institution called the Radio and Television High Council. It is responsible for regulating media scene. However, it is not very successful because it doesn't ensure media freedom, and also sometimes it is used as a tool to punish the opposing and critical media actors. I want to talk a little bit about the print media actors. The online media scene in Turkey can be seen as one of the sole resources for reaching the news critical of the government. Generally, the mainstream media actors and most of the TV channels and, as I said, the mainstream newspapers promote the government's discourse because they are dependent on government for advertisement, or they have an interdependent relationship in terms of financial resources. But in terms of the online media, according to Reuters Institute reports, the main source of news on online media is almost half of them has a left-wing audience. So the media actors or the journalists or the reports that are critical of the government today, they are generally operating in the online scene. So we cannot see, maybe there are 2 or 3 TV channels opposing the government discourse, but in the online platform we can see much more the existence of diversification of the actors who are critical of the government. So the online media is a little bit more free, or it can have the opportunity to be circulated on social media platforms, because the journalists cannot easily criticize the government on TV stations, or they don't have such an opportunity. But on the Twitter or other online platforms, they can do that. And also, as final remarks, also here, before passing to the final remarks, I want to make a brief coverage about the role of the citizen journalism. In Turkey, citizen journalism has been on the rise, and this paves the way for the diversification of the voices in the media scene, and also this helps the citizens to learn alternative sources for what's happening around the world or in Turkey. So citizen journalism is also important in terms of our analysis of the online media as well. Final remarks. I can say that in Turkey, free and independent media does not exist. It's just like a summary. Of course, maybe it existed to some degree from time to time, but in general sense, if we make the analysis on the liberal democratic terms, it doesn't exist. The institutions established to ensure this freedom serve the interests of the ruling elites. The Free Turkey Journalists Platform notes that since 2016, also this was the year the military coup attempt took place in Turkey. After this year, are you there? I'm sorry. Okay. After this year, 170 media outlets have been closed, and also censorship, along with self-censorship, can be seen as routine practices. Briefly, I can say that there's a growing interdependence between media outlets, business circles, and political actors. This interdependency undermines media freedom and pluralism. Also, I had written an article comparing the Indian media profile and the Turkish media profile. They have some common grounds. Advertising is both used as a tool of punishment in the hands of the elite. So there were some, similarities between the Indian and the Turkish media. Thank you very much. This is the end of my presentation.